We've heard this at least 5 times in the last few months. My child was bored or unmotivated or unsuccessful during remote school. I don't think he'd be successful at remote tutoring for the SAT. Our answer. Well, I have 3 reasons for why SAT tutoring, the experience very much differs from the school learning experience. But since all 3 are guesses, we have a stock solution. Try it. Ivy Bound offers trial sessions for 1, 2, or even 3 hours. Students can have learning sessions with a tutor, and they're not paying an enlistment fee for it. They do pay the tutor's fee, but the enlistment, which is $350 or more, that's not going to be imposed until a student's ready. And in that trial, parent and student can figure it out and go forward or not. Now, here's reason 1 why the trial is likely to be very satisfying. Because classes, whether remote or in person, they can't take the exact pace that a student needs. Private tutoring always does. The one-on-one nature of private sessions means that the tutor is tailoring, that the pacing for one student will be at the pace, that the selection of material will be at the right level for the student. That's the huge advantage of private tutoring. School teachers can't do that because they have 19 other kids in the classroom. They can only take one pace, and that rarely is going to coincide with what the single student wants or needs. All right, number 2, school class teachers, they have a difficult time displaying empathy for an individual student's issue. Sometimes they have to move on. Sometimes by devoting time to what a single student needs, they realize they're making the other class bored. Sometimes some kids feel like they're being made fun of. School teachers have this conundrum, and the way to avoid it is you can't be empathetic to every individual. Impossible. But private one-on-one tutoring exudes empathy. We feel for where the student is at. We adapt to what the student needs to adapt to. And we often can enhance things, like a tutor who knows that his student is into rocketry. So maybe the next math problem that might be aligned with space travel or engine propulsion, that tutor just might bring that into the next session. Good for the learning, more enjoyable. Number 3, school classes, they are occasionally boring. SAT prep is almost never boring. Now, I'm not saying this is an exciting topic, but it's a topic that is usually unknown to students. Boredom comes when you know something and the teacher has to do this over again. They have to play to, once again, the majority of the class. But for SAT prep, most things are new. And so the private tutor, who still can make sure that what's in front of the one student is new or is old but difficult, so we got to work on it, well, that eliminates boredom. No matter what, a private tutor can receive feedback and act on it. School teachers, they can't. They've got too many kids, and you can't accommodate what any one student asks for and needs as much as the school teacher would like to. So our tutors are inherently malleable. Some of them are actually actors, so they're really very good at taking on a different pace, a different demeanor. Some are more militaristic to start with, but they can take a more gushy side. Some start really gushy and can be fairly strict. And every one of the tutors can take feedback after a given session and adapt for the next session. So if these things sound so different from your school experience, whether in school or remote, please be open-minded, give the Ivy Bound experience a try, and you have nothing to lose.